Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome into Mornings with Loretta. And today I have the absolute joy of interviewing and having a conversation with a powerhouse musician whose energy and artistry light up every stage she's ever touched. She's not only an amazing singer, but an extraordinary bassist. And you'll know why when you hear her. But anyway, she has a career that has taken her from sharing stages with music legends to now releasing her own incredible solo work. Please help me welcome the unstoppable, the unforgettable Regina Zernay. Hi there.
Hi, Loretta. How are you? So nice to be on your show.
Oh my goodness, it's a blessing and an honor to have you here. Of course, I was researching you, and when I found out all the amazing people that you had been on the stage with, I watched some of the videos, and honey, you have a gift. It's definitely a gift.
Oh my gosh, thank you for saying that. As do you. I love your show. I love what you're doing and the fact that you're inviting people to go after their God given purpose. What a beautiful thing to do.
Yeah, everybody from these legendary super celebrities to thought leaders and everybody in between, and then those unsung heroes who deserve the same amount of spotlight and accolades. So let me just jump in here to this conversation because I could talk to you for hours. I see that now. So your new solo record, High Rolling, is out now. What inspired this project and how does it represent where you are as an artist today?
It was sort of an accident. The pandemic happened and my band wasn't available. There were no shows to play. And I thought, well, what am I going to do? I could lay down and die, or I could continue trying to make music. So I started to write a new record, and it was supposed to be the new Detroit Diesel Power record. The band had my husband in it with me. At the end of it all, as we were finishing it up, he said, "You know what? This is really your solo record. So why don't you release it as a solo record?" And that's what I did. I sort of took the approach: if I can't have my band with me, then I'm gonna have everybody join me. And I just reached out to everyone that I was ever interested in playing with, up to and including Michael Beinhorn, the producer of Soundgarden, Super Unknown. He's worked with so many of my favorite artists: the Chili Peppers, Hole, Weezer. And I heard that he's working with independent artists, and I reached out to him and I said, "I would love to work with you." And he said, "You know what? Yes." So we spent 6 months with him giving us mix input, and he gave us so much more beside, but he's too modest to say anything more than mix input. And that's what this is. And it's just all about working with everybody.
And I love the titles. I want to tell you that too. And I mean, it is gritty and bluesy at the same time. I feel like it's a little jazzy and it's everything. And then a little southern gospel or something in there too. You have soul, that's for sure. So you worked with some of the most iconic names: CeeLo Green, Cowboy Mouth, Detroit Diesel Power. How did these experiences shape your sound in your approach to performing, or were you already, or is what comes out when you perform, or were you shaped by some of them?
Well, you're right. Working with everyone, Cowboy Mouth, CeeLo Green, everybody that I ever played with, Detroit Diesel Power, it all changed me. And I didn't know how it would change me. I just knew that I loved working with these people, and I knew I loved the music. And it just happens naturally. You will be learning things that you didn't know you could do, trying things that you didn't know you could try, and it just stretches out your skills. I like to think of playing music as something that it's very physical, and you get sort of like a bag of tricks, and your bag of tricks expands the more you play with people. So I always encourage everybody, hey, go out, play with everybody that you possibly can. And I think that if you checked out the songs, that they're available, you can listen to samples at reginazernay.com. You'll hear some of those influences, or at least I hope you can hear some of those influences, not just the people that I've played with before, but the people that I love, and then the people who participated in the record. So
That is so beautiful. So what is unique, another unique thing about you? One thing is this very unique to me. Your transformation on stage, like you're talking to me so calm, so regular, and then you go on that stage. And do you have a name for your guitar that you play? I want to ask that. I always ask that.
I do name my guitars. That's so funny, and I encourage people to do that too. So right behind me. This is the bass that I used to do all the recording, and we named him the White Wolf.
Why?
And then I have an electric stand-up bass that I play most often on stage, and I don't know why, but both my husband and I, we said it looks like Darth Vader, so the name of the bass is Vader. And yeah, yeah.
Love that. So you are both a singer and a bassist. Like I said, that is rare, right? Because usually people who play the guitar or you play the bass, they don't usually sing. So how do you balance leading with your voice while driving the groove of your bass? Because when I say whether it's your solo project or you're playing on the side of somebody, like I love the CeeLo Green, and they will put that, you don't even know the camera's on you, and you over there just killing it. You are just like, I'm like, to watch that and then to hear the sound that you're making, it is truly a sight to behold. So how do you balance that?
Well, the singing and bass playing trick, it takes some effort, and you make choices. You say, okay, I'm going to sing right here, so maybe I'll dial it back in terms of what it is that I'm playing on the bass. And then when you're not singing, that's your opportunity to fill in the bass parts and add more interesting licks. Again, pull out a few more tricks from your bag and show off your chops a little bit. But you have to pick and choose, and you don't want your singing to suffer. I've noticed something as a singer for a while, and no matter how great you might be doing, they always blame the lead singer if the music, starts to nosedive. So do everything you can to keep everybody in your band happy, to give them everything that they need to play well. In terms of getting on stage and playing and then trying to play your parts well, you have to sort of treat it like two different things. You have to practice the bass parts and be really clear about what it is that you're playing. They say play it to the point where the mistake will be the unusual thing that happens. You got to play it so often that you don't make a mistake. It's too natural otherwise, right? And that takes time. And then what I heard that professional sports teams do, and I think that live performance is sort of similar to playing a sport because it's a team effort and it's very physical. But what sports teams do is they look at the playbacks, look at the video, and see what it is that's working and see what it is that's not working, and then adjust accordingly. And that means get out and play. Get out and play.
So do you have like rituals or hobbies that you practice to keep you inspired? And because you're still, there are very few women bassists who perform at your level. So what keeps you inspired and how do you stay grounded? Like, do you practice grounding outside with no shoes on? What's your thing that keeps you grounded?
Uh, you know, um, the time that I spent with CeeLo, he was at the height of his career, or one of the heights of his career, because he's had many like highlights in his life as a musician, and you're treated like very well, and then when that goes away, suddenly you're like, why doesn't everybody treat me that way anymore? I thought it was special, and you have like a come to Jesus moment, like, well, it wasn't that I was special, it was just that this was like the thing that was happening and great at the time, and that was a humbling experience. So I asked myself and continue to ask myself, why is it that I do this? Is it because of the fame? Well, the fame didn't exist in the years that it took to get to that level.
Mhm.
And then fame, it ebbs and flows. You have it and then you don't. When that disappears, do you still love what you're doing? And for me, the answer was yes. And part of it is just sitting in a room and playing stuff that you love, whether it's new music or music that you grew up with or that inspired you in the first place. It's also going out to concerts and seeing amazing performances and falling in love with it all over again. So that's how I continue doing it and why I continue doing it. And I also see that if you use music for good, much like what you're doing with your show, you're spotlighting things that matter, the unsung heroes that you shine a light on. I think if you have any intention as a musician or you want attention as a musician, what are you going to use it for? And I think that's what everybody wants to know too. So for me, fundraising, charity, things that really matter that aren't getting the attention that they should be getting, or organizing everybody who loves your music or may like your music and saying, you know what, I'm going to give you a reason to come to this show. I'm going to give you a reason to buy this record. I want you to help this charity. I'm going to donate money for it. So I think that's where I'm at with it. And I love what's going on with remote everything, remote rehearsals, remote recording, which is what I did with this record. And I want other people who maybe have experienced something similar. They've lost their band to the pandemic. They can't get out and play. They can't record by themselves. Well, you know what? You can still play. You can still record at home. You can meet people from all over the world. It's not that your world shrunk. It's that it just got a whole lot bigger. So
absolutely, I agree with that.
Right? Yeah. So
I totally agree with that. And we have to pivot it and adjust, and it becomes a hybrid. Like my show is a hybrid, online and then in-person interviews. I know you have to go. We've already exceeded the time, but what's next for you? How can people connect with you? I'm loving this entire high rolling album, or whatever they call it these days, but everything. I want to talk about each song, but we got to move on. So how can people find you?
Well, gosh, I would love to talk to anybody. If you go to reginazernay.com, you can hear samples of the record, hear what it sounds like when someone's done a remote recording, and what it sounds like to work with some of these amazing people like Michael Beinhorn and Patrick Burkholder and Ted Russell Camp. And you can also reach out to me. If you're interested in doing anything like this and you have questions, just email me at reginazernay.com. If you're interested in putting a show together, get in touch. I would love to do that. And same for you, Loretta. If you ever have anything that you want to do, please get in touch with me. I just want to make music and make music with other people.
See, and it comes out on this stage, honey. You're so calm, but you are a quiet storm for real. All they got to do is put that guitar in your hands and put you on a stage, and it's like you block out everybody, but at the same time, you are so aware that everybody's watching you, and you just release it, honey. And we are so thrilled and so blessed to have you on this earth, right? And then to see you perform in person, that's my goal now. So Miss Regina, thank you so much for being my guest. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'm going to support your music wholeheartedly.
Oh my gosh, Loretta, the feeling is mutual. God bless you for what you're doing for everybody. You're taking your talent and you're using it for good. And that's the most beautiful thing a human being can do. So thank you.
Next time I'm going to ask you to get that guitar down and strum a few bars or whatever you call it.
I would love to. Will you join me?
I will, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I would love that.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your morning and your day, and always live like you believe, because there's so much power in that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye for now. I'm telling you, I could have just kept talking to her. I went over a little, which I rarely ever do. I took a little more grace there. But anyway, check out Regina Zernay. And if you can listen to her music, you'll understand why I'm so super excited to have been introduced to her and to be able to support her with sharing her amazing story. And I'm telling you, her talent, honey. See, the guitar and the piano and the drums are my instruments. I play neither, but I love them all. But anybody that can make a guitar do what a guitar is meant to do, like she does, phenomenal talent. All right, we're going to take a pause right now, but we'll be right back with more Mornings with Loretta.